to edit the materials. Some we could put them into a book, and we needed to summarize it into a page. So that's a lot of work, So for some of you, you see your profile, and you like all the things I wrote. Look at what they turned into, just so little, But it doesn't make you little. You are still inspiring and special, So please don't be in a hurry to go. We have light dinner, warm African food. The caterer just called me, they are coming. So what you ate now was Dutch lunch. So our Dutch friends, you're going to have a top-up, and that is the African menu. So it is coming all the way from Amsterdam, hot. So, and I know some people have been testing me, we're on our way. I say, you have missed the lunch. Pray that you also don't miss the dinner. So you better make haste. So please, just enjoy the time with us. Tomorrow, 5 p.m., we're going to start. And when I say 5 p.m., so if you're an awardee and you're already here, if they call your name and you are not here, we will not repeat it. And they know me for that for sure. You're going to collect your award at the back door. No ceremony attached to it anymore. I did it in the Gambia. They were not happy. I did it in Dubai. They came, yeah, but I'm here now. I said, no, we've passed that stage. We have to learn to respect time. So please, all the other contacts that you have seen on the flyers that are going to be, because some of them are still calling me, asking me, are you sure 5 p.m.? Yes, 5 p.m. I'm very sure. We're going to be here. We had said, you can see that the place is being prepared already, so there will be nothing to delay us not to start on time tomorrow. So please, let's be on time so that we can have also fun, So it's not just going to be talking. There's going to be music. There's going to be entertainment. There's going to be a gala dinner. And we want to have good time for all of this while we still give the awards out. So please help me inform others that are not early today that the 5 p.m. is not African time. It's not European time. It is 5 p.m. Is that okay? And if you have not got your ticket, you have paid, because I have the names there, please make sure you pick up your ticket, because my security guys tomorrow are not people you are familiar with. So I don't want them to embarrass any person. So please make sure that you get your ticket before you leave. Is that fine? Yes. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Abega, please. I'm through.
Are you sure you say all, Pastor Elvis, or you still have some to add? Oh, okay. Do we both agree that 5 p.m. tomorrow is 5 p.m.? By the look of things. Okay, I think we are all ready for the next session. Christian, can we check if we can play the video? Okay, will we just go direct to the, can we just go direct to the PowerPoint? Yeah? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite our next speaker. Christian is going to talk about a very interesting topic, but also I just want us to look at these topics with an open eye. And how can we learn? We make them as interactive as we can by asking questions also, because it's not attack. Sometimes we feel we are being attacked as African, but it's not attack. It's just the reality on the ground, and we need to look ourselves on the mirror and start asking, how can we be better? What have we learned from this? And change our mindset in doing things. Thank you very much, Christian. You are welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be able to speak to you today. I wanted to start actually the presentation by showing you a bit of Young Africa in action with a video, but unfortunately it's not possible to see where Our youth that are being empowered are given voice and actually telling their experience. Okay, yeah, maybe I can be the voice a bit, so you can see. Let's try it. So the technical vocational, this will show the technical vocational center in Chitungwiza, which is in Harare, Zimbabwe, where we started operations back in 2001. The organization actually, that's why you saw 25 everywhere, because we just last week celebrated 25 years of existence.
No, you want to
This is okay. This is the center, the TVET center, and this is one of the young people that has been empowered. He speaks very fast. Maybe you can see. Yeah, the subtitles. Thanks. So we do our technical vocational training 70% hands-on, so 70% at what our franchises are, and 30% theoretical. This was Doreen Burskens, which is the founder. She's one of the co-founders of the organization. Just explaining a little bit, we are an inclusive vocational training, which means we also train people with disability. So we have been working with other organizations that are expertise in inclusiveness, and they have invested in our technical vocational training centers so that we at least 5% of our students have some level of disability. Here you just see some of our workshops where students are being trained, and that is Agnes, a young mother. I can explain a little bit further later. Yeah, you see a bit of images, but of course it's much more enjoyable if there would be sound. This is one of the kindergartens where young mothers that are in vocational training can leave their children without having extra costs, so that they actually can attend to their vocational training. And these are our mobile training units. We also attend to rural youth, because we feel education should be provided to everyone, not only the people that are close to our centers. So we designed this mobile training unit, which actually takes the technical vocational training center to rural regions, and then creates a whole ecosystem that actually has also a benefit for businesses that are in that region. And this is the vocational training center from UP. That's it. So why are we actually working for young people? I put a bit of key information there. 70% of Africa is under the 30 years, and they are challenged by youth employment. They are strongly underemployed in a lot of regions, or unemployed, and therefore we want, as Young Africa, to support a solution. With it comes also, we feel, a very big opportunity, because when you have so many young people that aspire to do something positive in their life, that is a big opportunity for these economies. But only if they can realize their full potential, right? So that is currently not possible because actually 12 million youth are entering the labor market every year in sub-Saharan Africa, while only there are 3 million jobs created. How does Young Africa feel that they can contribute to a solution is to engage them in quality education. A bit on the background of Young Africa. We, 5 years ago, we decided to shift the power where actually the action is. So our headquarters is in Zimbabwe, Harare, where I have 24 colleagues, and the numbers there, 96 and 4 is the percentage of colleagues that work here in the Netherlands or work directly at our headquarters in Harare. In general, we have about 170 employees, which is then part also because we are a confederation of independent registered organizations across several countries. So what do we actually do? We do vocational training in different ways. We have 43 different vocational courses, which starts from your normal courses as carpentry, mechanics, and so on, and goes until agricultural courses. We have 15 different agricultural courses, and then ends at the technical level, such as solar technicians. We pair that with entrepreneurial and life skill training, so that's why we call it also integral technical vocational training. And we support young people to either enter into the job market by an internship or receive a microcredit so they can actually start their own business. We feel that that needs to be the basis for every further development, because that's the basis of livelihood that most of the young people miss there. Young Africa works, I think 95% of our students are socially, economically, or educationally disadvantaged youth. So they most of the times don't have different opportunities to actually find quality education. So how do we do that? We have 3 different ways. You saw one of them actually already in the video. 2 of them. One is the technical vocational training centers. We have 8 of them in Mozambique, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Namibia. And then the second way is through the mobile training unit. We have about 22 pop-up centers across the different countries of operation, and we're trying to expand. And the third one, and because we know Young Africa is not going to solve the problem of underemployment or unemployment of youth in Africa, we collaborate with different organizations. We have about 43 dissemination partners, because we already work in this space for 25 years, and we have tested the models and see that they are successful. 67% of the youth that are engaged in our technical vocational training actually find employment within the first 3 years. 50% of the young people are self-employed, so they engage in microcredits and develop their business. 50% are more or less that are through internships finding then employment. One of the models that we are putting into place is our franchise business model. We received also an award for that as best practice or promising practice from UNESCO UNIVOC, which is the leading institution in the TVET space. Basically, what it does is it engages local entrepreneurs to become teachers. We have a large TVET center where we have micro businesses in place. We invest in this, and then they become franchisees and pay us a franchise fee. So you have actually about 15 different businesses that are active in the economic space, that are training young people. Therefore, also the young people are able to enter immediately into the work, rather than needing to be trained again once they join a new company. What it also does is it makes our operation financially sustainable, which is one of the pillars that the Young Africa stands for. The second approach, and what I already mentioned, is the mobile training. We implement that, the graphic is not correct. We implement that also besides Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and Zambia in Namibia, in the north of Namibia, where we do solar training for young people, because we have identified that actually the solar sector is there in difficulties, because a lot of entrepreneurs have found a way to actually sell solar equipment, but they have not the qualifications to do so. So actually people there have understood, okay, we would love to have, because we are not able to be connected to the grid, would love to have for our house, a household solution to have electricity. They go to a business, the business installs it, but the lifespan of those is very short because it's not installed well. So we skill up the qualification of the businesses as well as of the young people that want to enter into the economic space. Here is an overview where we currently work. We have also, besides the Young Africa affiliates, which are the organizations where we have the TVET centers. We have dissemination partners that use our models in Malawi, Tanzania, Ghana, Ethiopia, and Botswana. As I mentioned, it's about 43 different organizations that are currently using our model. In between them is such as Habitat for Humanity, SOS Children's Village, and others. So, yeah, what has been the impact in the last 25 years? Young Africa is a small organization. It's a growing organization, but it had a very humble start. It was founded by two people that had already experience in providing technical vocational training, and went then to Zimbabwe with 1,500 euros in their pockets and a lot of good ideas, and actually engaged with local youth to see what they needed and came up with this system. Since then, we have benefited 300,000 young people with our programs. 51% of them are females, which we are quite happy about, because we think that young women a lot of times are not receiving sufficient education. So we actually proactive, go to the communities and engage young women to be doing technical vocational training. 50,000, but actually almost 60,000 if you, I know the new statistics, have been enrolled in technical vocational training. Again, 67% of those now still have jobs. The outcome, once you graduated in a training, which is most of the time 6 to 12 months, is that you increase your salary, because every young person in Africa already needs to engage in household chores and contribute to the household economics, right? So they are normally already doing something for their household, but after graduating and getting a job, they normally receive 4 times more salary than before engaging with Young Africa. The return on investment is 1 to 8. So each euro that you are actually investing at Young Africa, it has a default of 8. I said already that we do something for women. Here is a bit of an overview. besides the gender equality at our centers and our mobile training operations, we also developed crash services for young mothers, as I mentioned with the video, so that they can also train and not fall out and need to stay home because they don't have where to live to leave their children. We have hostel services for young mothers and men that are wanting to join from different provinces. We have seen that a lot of times that they are not able then to engage in our training if they don't have hostel services. We have that in Mozambique as well as in Zimbabwe. And we have 100% female leadership at Young Africa, which means the CEO and all the country directors of Young Africa are women. This also serves as an example for the students that are engaged, that is possible. This is the goals that we are contributing to. It's an overview. It speaks for itself. Our ambition, so Young Africa has a lot of ambition in the future. We want to expand to different countries, and we want to help more young people to feel empowered and be able to secure a job. Until now, I said 300,000 young people were already empowered in the different programs. We want to reach another 200,000 in the next 2 years. It's a big ambition, but yeah, Young Africa tries to make that happen. And we try to make that happen also by expanding our operations to new countries. One of, as you see the overview, Angola is actually already a country that we are going to operate. We just signed a contract with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of the Netherlands that we are going to start operations in Angola from 2024, South Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana. Besides that, we also want to green our operations. The green economy sector is going to employ in sub-Saharan Africa about 12 million people in the next 5 to 10 years. So we want to be part of that process as well, helping young people which are socially, economically disadvantaged to be part of that movement as well. Yeah, and that was the brief of Young Africa. Thank you so much for your attention.
My mic, yeah, it's on now. Thank you very much. Let's give him one more round of applause, guys. We were talking of 491, and we now see figures and numbers. 4-1? Yeah, numbers and figures of real Africans doing good things behind the scene. Thank you. I would request if you have questions for Christine, maybe we keep them for later, please. So, yeah? Kindly, unless it's a burning one you want him to answer. No? Is there a burning question? Yeah? Give her the mic. No? We have another mic here. Okay, just give them the mic. So.
Hi, Kristen. Thank you very much for the work you're doing in Africa. I think there was a question earlier on in relation to accessibility. How did you find opening such an organization, your dealings with an African country? Thank you.
That's a very good question. I think I'm not 100% equipped to answer it because actually Doreen Burskes and Raj opened the organization or founded the organization. She's still the CEO. I think there was a lot of wish and a clear understanding of the need. They went to a town which is called Chitongwiza, she used to be a bit out of Harare, and they engaged young people to ask them directly the question, what do they need? And I think on that, and to understand that the need was to get skills so that they can empower themselves and feel empowered and make livelihood be a reality for their lives and for their families and for their communities. That is what drove Doreen and Raj to make that dream for everyone there happening. Chitungwiza used to be a small place. I think it's now a town that has 1 million people. It's actually separated from Harare. It's its own town. And therefore, at the beginning, I think they trained 100 students. Now they're training more than 1,000 students a year.
Okay, thank you, Christian. So it was more of a need. Okay, last question, or no, there are two more. Just give the mic so we...
Actually, like, it's a question from my mom here.
Okay.
She said I should ask this. So you spoke well, but like the issue of sustainability was somehow missing. That is, you train hundreds of youths into XYZ, but what happened after the training? How do you sustain them? Do you provide more funding for them, and do you track these records, like the results? What happened after the training, and how do you envision to impact their life further for sustainability purpose?
Thank you. It's a very good question. First, as I mentioned, we have two options. The first one is that we facilitate internship. Every young person that wants to enter in an employment situation, we try to find, with a big network that we have created over the years of companies, an internship place, as well as we have, but this is a difficult one, not a lot of donors want to actually facilitate the possibility of microcredit. Microcredit has a bit of a two-sided name. So when we see young people that have a drive to create businesses and have a really strong idea behind it, we facilitate also what we call startup kits, which is in the range of 500 to 1,000 US dollars, and they can engage with 2 or 3 people to build a business. After that, we monitor their situation 3, 6, and 12 months after. So if they have a difficulty, such as, for example, they need an extra qualification to actually enter the job market that we have not seen, we provide that after. We have seen that, for example, in Mozambique, financial literacy becomes a strong requirement for young people to enter the job market in some of the sectors. So we do that as a post-graduation program for our students.
Okay, that's good.
The last question.
Yeah.
Maybe, Abek, can you get ready for the next presentation or the
Sure,
PowerPoint?
yeah.
Yeah, and I'll give her the mic.
Thank you so much. It was interesting you spoke about the mobile service.
Mobile training, yeah.
Mobile training. Yeah, because my family owns a business in in glass. It's called Eco Glass in Nigeria. And we're looking into mobile training. So it's great that you spoke on that. So my question actually is, what are the challenges in that? What are the pros, the cons? Does it really work? Would you advise doing it? Or is it best to have a headquarter?
It depends on a lot of factors, I think. Depends on the location of where you want to train. But why Young Africa started this is because we saw a lot of young people falling out of the education system, and we didn't want them to. If you want to attend a lot of rural young people with the trainings that you are envision, then absolutely that's a good form. It is also a good form to engage a lot of business people in that area to be part of the training, so that you not only educate theoretically, but you also educate practically, so they can actually see how the work is done and they have a hands-on training. What are the challenges? The challenges is most of the time that the qualification standards, what you need for technical vocational training, sometimes the young people don't have them. So you need to provide literacy education, numeric education, etc., so that you bring the standard that they can follow the curriculums that then provide them actually a certification that can take them somewhere. That is one of the difficulties. So it's not only to provide the technical education, but it's also all what you need to do around that. But I'm happy to speak with you still. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christian. Put your hands together for him. Please, I would like to call Carta Holiday. They will introduce themselves. Random applause for Carta Holiday.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Hi, everyone. We are so happy to be here with you today, me and my colleague Maria. I'm Sveti. I'm not sure if all of you were at the beginning of today's presentation. So we are from Carta Holiday. We will present to you only a small part of our original programs. Should I tell when you have to? Oh. So I put this one. Okay. Perfect. I have to get used to this. So we will divide our presentation in two parts. Actually, we are not gonna talk about tourism in Africa, but we are gonna talk